Well, howdy there, miniature painters. Today we're going to be painting the extras box, the Fateful. These are the 4 I decided to keep because in Kickstarters, when it comes to CMON, they always toss in a whole bunch of minis that you're probably not going to use. And the paints we're going to be using are the ones that are coming up right now. You can pause the video now, take a look at them, get them ready on your table, and follow along and paint the extra Fateful. Like I said, this is from the Extras Kickstarter Stretch Goals exclusives. And what I did is I went through them all, and I want to have 6 of each type of faction kind of thing. So there's like the Fateful, the Brawlers, the Townsfolks, the Gunslingers. And I just want to have 6 of each so that if I wanted to play a whole game just with Fateful, I could have the 6 of them. And I picked the ones that were more different than everyone else, had different kind of abilities and stuff, not to have all the same kind of thing. When you get the stretch goals sometimes from CMON, you'll end up with like 200 heroes or survivors, and you're like, I'm never gonna play these 200 people. The monsters and all that, that's fun, like having different abominations, so you know, CMON, in the future when you're doing things for Zombicide, if you're doing any other future Zombicides, I haven't heard anything yet, so I don't know what's going on there. I mean, you guys have done every pretty much age, unless you do like 40k style Zombicide, which, you know, that would be freaking hilarious. Make sure you add more like bosses or 3D elements to your Zombicide games. I think that would be awesome. Anyways, I just want to tell you guys how I started off with these miniatures. What I did is I actually gave them a gray air primer start, and then I took some Iron Wolf and I went on and painted everything that was going to be like the blue color I want. Now, yes, it's a bit of a weird color to go. My other Fateful were like a dark gray, blackish color. But these guys, I wanted to be a little different just because they're the extras, right? They're the ones that are from the stretch goals. I want them to pop a little bit different. Yes, they all look the same because technically all the artwork was the same pretty much for all 4 of them as well. Like they were in a darkish gray, blackish outfit and so on. But in the end, they're going to look really awesome and pretty different, and it's just going to be nice. And of course, I'm not even using speed paints here. I'm actually using the Warpaints Fanatics paint line, which are amazing paints. And lately, I've actually been teaching people how to use these paints and how to paint their miniatures. It's been great. We've had some paint nights over at my house lately. It's been going great. They're learning super easily. They're learning much faster than I ever learned. And I'm showing them techniques, and I find their miniatures are coming out almost amazing. So I hope that when you guys watch my videos, it's the same thing. You look at them, you're like, okay, I could do this. This is very easy, super simple. I don't have to think about 15 hours of work ahead of me. No, it's almost like maybe an hour for all 4 of these. Well, I don't know how long exactly it was for all of them, but it wasn't long at all. It was pretty simple, especially if you use the same paint on multiple miniatures, and which is probably what I don't think I can do it with the other extras. And I know this is Zombicide Undead or Alive. I know it's been out for a long time. These are older models, but some people are probably still looking for some of these to paint because maybe they just picked up these boxes over the holidays. If you're watching this during the time of Christmas 2024, and you know, they maybe got some specials for Boxing Day or for Black Friday or whatever, and they picked up Zombicide Undead or Alive. And as you can see now, the next big color I'm using is leather brown, going on every single miniature, getting the boots, except I forgot the nun at the end. I forgot to give her boots a brown color to them, but I caught that as I was doing something else later on, and I just did that part. So I go around looking, you know, some of the gun butts or some of the handles on the guns, and you'll notice I'm not doing the crosses. I'm going to do those in a different color later, and there's other crosses that are on the people. I do those in a different color. But it's all what's kind of fun is like kind of batch painting, and having done the airbrush with the Iron Wolf beforehand, just kind of like made that area faster to do, get it done quickly. Because sometimes using the brush is a little bit longer, depending on your situation and all that, and like again, it's just a great way of painting your miniatures. You don't have to use speed paint. The washes are going to come in later in effect. They're going to do a great job shadowing everything for you. And yeah, again, though, these models are really nicely done. They're good quality miniatures. Of course, it's CMON. I didn't do much to the bases. I pretty much just end up painting them like in a sandy yellow color, and I added like a little tuft to them just to give a little depth to them. I didn't do much. I don't think I did some miniatures, but again, I'm starting to realize now maybe like the board game ones that have no bases, I don't necessarily need to do base on, because they don't always, if you print out or you buy inserts for these boxes, having the bases done with like texture paint and all that sometimes makes them a bit thicker, and then they don't fit in these inserts at all. I learned that the hard way with Ankh. I started trying to put them into a 3D printed insert, and they all have like basing material on them, and they don't fit, so that kind of sucks. All right, remember I was talking about the crosses here. I'm using Barren Dune. It's a yellowish brown color, which is really cool. And again, if you have used Warpaints Fanatics, you know that on the bottle it tells you what kind of color it is and what you're expecting out of the bottle, because sometimes the image is not exactly what you think you're going to get. Matte black now, we're doing hair on pretty much everyone here, on all the 4 models. And again, this is fun because it's kicking out 4 more models that were sitting in a box looking kind of drab, and I was able to paint them up and make them look a lot better. And sometimes board games, they don't always come out on the table as much as a tabletop game like Warhammer and so on and so forth. So, but when they do, your friends appreciate the fact that they're nicely well painted, and they just give a little bit more oomph to the table as well. Anywho, so Great Hall Gray, now we're using this just on this one miniature here. We're just using it for the inside part of his like trench coat. He had this like lighter beigeish color. Great Hall Gray has a tint of olive to it a bit, just a little bit. And it's in the whites, so whenever you get up higher, if you want to highlight this even more, you can get up to white with it, but white would be a bit much. And the wash comes in again later on, shades this really well. Hey guys, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, because about 90% of you are new viewers, and it would be nice to have you subscribe. It's free. You can also join the channel though and subscribe and join. That way you'll get some exclusive videos which are going to be coming up eventually. I got to get to them. It's going to be some Warhammer videos, it's going to be some other kind of videos, so if you want to see those, become a member today and you'll see my take on painting Warhammer, which is not always Space Wolves and Dark Angels. No, I go Age of Sigmar, which is, there's not that many people painting that out there on YouTube, so I want to give the chance to people to be able to see those and see how easy it is to paint them as well, not be intimidated by Warhammer miniatures. Especially if you've been painting a while and you want to give yourself a challenge, that would be the time. As you can see, I just used gunmetal now on a bunch of miniatures here, mostly for the guns. I used it on some of the crosses that they had on their belts and all that. And here we're starting off with the washes. It's a dark blue tone. We're going to be putting this on all the Iron Wolf just to darken it down a bit more, get into the shades and all that, the recesses, sorry, to create the shadow effect, and just to make it pop a bit more. You can come back with a lighter blue color if you want to do some highlights, but I like the fact that it was pretty much darker and looked more closely to the artwork as well. We're going to come in with another tone coming up there. What we're going to do is we're going to use some strong skin shade now on the face, and as you can see, I used the mocha color for the skin. I didn't want it to be super bright skin color. I wanted these guys to like almost have like a tan, you know, even though they've probably been in church longer than anyone else and haven't seen the light of day much. Maybe I don't, yeah, anyways, I won't go there. Yeah. And then just giving the skin shade here just highlights everything as well and gives a nice shadow effect. And I would not be able to do eyes on these. Like, I do not have the vision to look at that and get the eyes perfectly done. Dark tone is our next color, going over pretty much the rest of the miniature here. Pretty much finishing off everything. The dark tone, by the way, from the Warpaints Fanatic works almost as good now as the new Nuln Oil. It does a good job. Some of them do tend to flow and stay in recess, like pool up, but not most of them. But the dark one is definitely not one of those. Anyways, there you go. All of them are painted. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to slay the gray.